And I think we're live, y'all. I don't see it on YouTube yet. Or that could be.
Yep, I just got it on YouTube.
Okay. Or that could be.
Yep, I just got it on YouTube.
Okay. Or that could be.
I just got it on YouTube.
Okay. Or that could be.
I just got it on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, don't play that
Or
anymore.
that could be.
I just got it on YouTube. All right, don't play that
Or
anymore.
that could be.
Somebody's not muted.
All right, don't play that anymore.
Okay. It might have been Danielle. She just muted. Hey, y'all. How are you?
Is that better now?
Yes, ma'am. I was like, that was like a recording. It just kept going and going.
Yeah.
And going and going.
Oh, my goodness
Tina?
gracious. So, we're back for round 2 of a little resin and paper clay play because we just couldn't get enough of it last night. So, I've got with me today Debbie Kip up in the top right corner, and we've got Danielle P below center. So, hey Tina. So we're just gonna we're just gonna play. We're just going to if you missed last night's live CSOT Craft Squad on Tour live over on Laurel's channel, it was just kind of a work in progress session, and I ended up playing with some resin and some paper clay in a couple of the new Finnabar molds, and Danielle did some playing. She sent me, actually, Danielle started playing before we even went live. That's what prompted me. So, yes. And then Debbie last night, after she finished her project, she pulled out her new Zuri molds, which are out of this world. You can see she's got them right there. That's just one of them. You ought to see the other set. Oh my goodness, beautiful. So then Debbie pulled some out and started playing. And so we just kind of got together today to play with what we started yesterday. So, Debbie, you want to, I'm just playing with the pieces that I poured up last night. So I have those out. I'm going to gesso them. Look at this one, y'all. This was my favorite last night. Oh,
Pretty. Very pretty.
hey, Bonnie. And this was made out of the paper clay. And y'all, if you thought it was light last night, oh my gosh. It's like, I love that stuff. Thank you, Danielle.
You're welcome.
Thank
Yes.
you for sending us down the rabbit hole, Danielle.
I cannot believe how, and it's very flexible, which surprises me with paper clay because, sometimes it does not stay flexible. I know one other clay that I'm using, if I were to bend it like that, it would crack, but I don't want to bend it too much. I want to keep it flat. So I've got those pieces out, and I've got some waxes over here to my left, and that's what I'm going to do. Deb, what you got?
I've got, the one I played with last night that I just put some paper clay in just to really kind of see what the molds were is this, it's called Buttons. It's one of the new molds from Zuri. And so I've got all 6 of them. I've gessoed 2 of them white, 2 of them black, and 2 of them is called cream gesso. So it's not, you can kind of see the difference between the white and the cream. And I'm going to I'm just going to color each one slightly different. The first one I started with here, I'm using the antiquing wax and sepia from Finnabar. And so I'm going to do that. I've got some acrylic paint here. I've got some stains. I've got more wax. I've got some liquid acrylic. So I've just got just a variety of different colors, and I'm just going to do each one of these slightly differently and see what happens.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, Debbie. Danielle, what you got?
I am working on a resin piece of a butterfly. This is that, what was it, mechanical insects?
Insecta, I think, is what
Yeah.
it's called. Mechanical, yeah, something like that. That's a
Yep.
Finnebar mold. Yeah.
And then I have some of the little from the nocturnal insects, the ones that just came out. I have these ones in the clay, the little ones. And I'm going to wax up those. We're going to put them on this little tag. I already put some texture paste, the paper paste on, and some gesso, and we'll go from there.
All righty. Yeah, so we're just playing today. That's all. No plan. Well, we've got an idea, and then we're just going to go with it. So that's what we're doing. And
What's everybody else doing? And is anybody out there playing, crafting?
Yeah, anybody playing today?
Your husband's here with us.
I saw him pop in. Hi, honey.
Hi, Steve.
Mr. YCS.
Oh, Tina's making another beautiful journal.
Oh, of course, Tina. Tina's always crafting.
Cleaning a violin. Bonnie, are you going to do something with your violin after it's clean?
Oh, yeah, she posted a picture of that in my Facebook group that she got. She got a violin and I think some sheet music. She scored on that. Nice score, Bonnie.
I'm looking for another violin. I've been keeping my eye out on a couple on eBay. Because a lot of that project I really didn't record. And so I thought if I can find another one pretty inexpensively, I will do another mixed media violin and record more of it.
All right, so I'm thinking now with this paper clay that's already white, you could use clear gesso, right? If you wanted.
Sure. Any kind of gesso to prepare your surface for whatever color and coloring kind of thing you're going to do.
I'm just going to go with white since I've got it out here. I was thinking about going with clear, but I'm like, well, Michelle, you've already got the white out. Just use the white.
There you go. That is the sepia wax on the base with some patina wax on top.
Ooh, so that's what now? Hold on, let me put it on you. That's pretty. Sorry for the dogs, guys.
It's the antiquing wax in sepia from Finnebar on the bottom, and I just rubbed a little bit off, mostly kind of here in the center. That's not focusing. Hang on. There we go. And then it's just a little bit of patina on top. You can kind of see that hint of green patina color. It's actually not showing the green as much on camera as it is in real life. I wonder why.
So you use the Gilder's patina wax on the top? I'm sorry, I had to answer the door. It was the Amazon guy.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty.
It's just a very subtle. But there's more green in real life than what you can kind of see. Maybe
Yeah.
There.
You can kind of, yep, there it is.
there.
Wow. Okay, so now that's making me
Simple.
want to
Took what? 2 seconds? 2 minutes, maybe tops.
Nice.
Easy. All right, that's one. One down.
You kill me how fast you work. You just,
Oh, Bonnie, I can't wait to see it.
she's going to make, yeah, she
I-
scored on that.
Did my violin inspire? Are you going to do something like mine, or are you going to do something completely different? Do tell. Give me the details.
And yes, Tina, you do need to do some videos. You need to come on live with us and play.
Yes, Tina.
Get your feet wet, jump right in. If you want to get on, I'll send you the link.
Come join us, Tina.
We're just playing. No pressure.
Yeah, Tina, no pressure.
And like Danielle was pointing out to me earlier before we got on with this paper clay, when you're gessoing, you kind of need to work fast because you're adding moisture. So,
Yeah, the painting
you're
part
going-
of it is the same way.
yeah. So no playing around. Get it on there. And another thing that Debbie mentioned, I heard her talking to Danielle as I walked away to wash my hands, that what she likes to do is we'll do like thinner coats, like one or two thin coats as opposed to just one thick coat, because it makes sense, the more medium or whatever that you add, the thickness could get down in there and start to take away your detail in the mold. Hey, Lisa. We're playing today. Yes, Stephen. It's Amazon labels. The labels from Amazon have arrived. So, yeah, we're just continuing on from the live last night. Lisa, since you're just popping in. We're over on Laurel's channel, the Craft Squad on Tour. We were working on some projects, and I had pulled stuff out to work on molds, thanks to Danielle. And Debbie, after she finished her first project, pulled out her Zuri molds and started playing. So I was like, hey, let's play with them some more. So that's what we're doing. They're ahead of me. They already had some of their pieces gessoed.
No pressure, Michelle.
Yeah,
Does that mean we cheated?
so I'm trying to catch up. And looking up.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Oh, good, Bonnie. Take it where it wants to go. I love that. Well, I can't wait to see it.
Okay, I'm going to show y'all just how light this paper clay is. Look, that thing's like just sticking to my finger with the gesso. That's how light it is. That's the Stamperia Extra Light Clay. I've got the thing right there. I'll show you in a minute, but my fingertips are black. Full of gesso.
I don't know what I want to do.
You're going to try it. You said you had some acrylics pulled out to try?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a wash on one. I want to let that sit for a minute before I do anything else.
Is that an acrylic?
Yeah.
Did you use a glaze with the acrylic paint or just water?
I just use water.
Okay.
I probably should have used like flow medium or something, but I just use water.
Okay. Oh. All that. I'm gonna pause to wash this real quick. Please, just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to swipe it this so I don't put my elbows in it. So, anybody, what y'all working on? We'd be driving Laurel crazy right now with quiet. Quiet, it bothers me a little bit, but as long as I know somebody's there, I feel a lot better. But just as soon as I realize I'm by myself, the panic sets in. Don't know why, but it does. Hi,
Yeah.
Ann. All right, now what'd you do there?
That's black gesso and silver metal ink wax.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that came out
Well,
nice.
see, that's just 2 products right there, and boom, look at what you got.
Yep. Simple, simple, simple. Hey, Angie.
Thanks for joining us. What are you working on?
Let's do some more play on that one.
I want to gesso more, but I kind of, in a way, want to see where I might go with them before I gesso them. I guess if I gesso them white, it's okay. I could go over it with black if I decide to go black. But I don't want to get overwhelmed, and I will tend to get overwhelmed if I have too many out here going at one time.
You can always change your mind. That's the beauty of, one of the beauties of gesso.
Oh, she's made.
Yeah, don't you remember my chocolate milk pitcher, Michelle?
I did. Angie's made 2 more tiny house journals. Danielle, tell them about your chocolate milk this morning. If that was this morning, I don't know.
Yeah, that was this morning. I was preparing this piece and decided to go, and the base was black and then the paper texture piece was white. So I decided to get out the sprays and spray it, and it dried and I didn't like it. So then I white gessoed it and it turned to the color of chocolate milk. So we went back to black.
But chocolate milk is a pretty color.
I don't think it's what she was going for.
Nope, totally wasn't what I was going for.
Not quite, huh?
So what you said that you would use some of the Tim Holtz. I know you said you use Seth After and Tim Holtz sprays.
Mm-hmm.
What color was the Tim Holtz that you used? Is that, I'm sure that's what ran when you added the gesso.
It was scattered straw.
Okay. Because that, as we know, the Tim Holtz products, they are distressed and they will reactivate with any kind of liquid. Unless you use the that distress glaze that he has, that will seal it. And it also brightens the color. I saw Tiffany Solario. She just used a couple of his new dyes, and after she finished like the card topper that she was making, And I've seen her do it before. She's actually where I learned about it. She then took the Tim Holtz micro glaze and used a dauber and covered the project with it, and it actually makes the color pop as well as protecting it from running or moving should you add another liquid to it. Okay, looking up.
Lisa, I saw your posts on your cyborg doll. I haven't gotten to the videos yet, so that's on my list to watch.
Yeah, she's doing something kind of cool over there on her channel with Kim. This frame that I'm working with, this is a resin piece, so I don't have to work with it as quickly. But I had some white gesso left over, so I decided to go ahead and do a couple more pieces, so not to waste my gesso.
I put my head in the screen.
Let me do a couple more. I'm wondering if there's something out there that you could seal the paper clay with, but not necessarily keep it from being able to be colored with stuff. You know what I'm saying? I know you'd be able to, if you were to put a sealant on it, I feel pretty certain you would be able to still use your waxes on it. I would think, just depending on what you would use to seal it. I don't know. I'm just thinking, and that's kind of off the top of my head. If anyone has any clues out there or any tips. What do you think, Deb?
No. What are you talking about? Sealing the piece and then...
Yeah, something to seal the paper clay just so it doesn't get like when you add moisture to it, it doesn't start to soften. Because I can kind of feel it under my fingertips when it's doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you could seal it. Seal it with a sealant, like a matte sealant, and then you could probably just go in and gesso on top of that. I don't know if that would work or not. I think so, because then you're putting your liquids on top of the sealant.
Okay, there's that. All right. I'll try and swipe that up a little bit.
That's the brush I want. All right.
I love the fact that the glass mat gives you freedom to use your stuff and not have to worry. But you do have to swipe and clean as you go, or else you're gonna have stuff. Because the freedom to add the stuff all over the place, then stuff gets all over the place. Just sounding off here, that's all.
Yeah, I still like the tins better for the waxes. But with the tubes, the glass mat is the way to go.
Yeah, after I when I'm in the craft room like this playing, and I've got it's in my craft room is one of our spare rooms, and so there's a bathroom like right across the hall. Hey there, B. And so that's where I tend to run real quick to rinse stuff off or wash my hands. So I usually, not only do I have to clean up my craft room afterwards, I've got to go clean the spare bath, the main bathroom. But it is convenient that it's right there. So Lisa says, so what do you guys use in your molds? Well, last night I was using the Stamperia Extra Light Soft Clay, which Danielle told me about. This stuff is light. It's like marshmallow fluff. And then I poured a few with the amazing cast and resin, which turns white and cures in 10 minutes. I think here in South Carolina, it's more like 15. But it's still faster than having to leave it sit overnight.
I usually pour resin in my molds. I use a clear, it's more like a 24-hour setting. And the reason is because if I'm using a more detailed mold, I don't want that to set up on me. And here in the summertime, it sets up in less than 10 minutes sometimes. So, and then that, like, I don't have enough time, especially if I'm pouring several different molds or a bigger detailed mold. So I'll use something I don't even have a brand favorite. But these, what I'm working with today, these are just paper clay. I just very quickly last night stuffed this mold. This is called Buttons from Zuri Design Molds. And I just pushed the clay in there real quick last night and popped them out just so we could kind of see what they look like. And so that's what I'm playing with today. But
okay. So I'm thinking on this one, I want to do some of the antiquing wax. Let's do it out. Get that gesso out of the way. So yeah, we're just playing. And you know, there were a couple of molds that I poured last night, and the one box of that, you know what, Deb, that's a good idea on that overnight stuff, because you know what, when I started pouring this one last night, I noticed that it started, I could like feel it warming in the cup before I was even like halfway through pouring. So then I had to start pouring faster, and in that situation you tend to go faster and you miss. So yeah, that's a very good idea about if it's going to be a more intricate piece to use the resin that doesn't set so quickly. That way you have time to work and not be pressured.
yeah,
That's a very good idea.
and you have time to go in and blow out any bubbles, heat out any bubbles or anything like that too before it completely sets up.
That's a good thought.
It's less stressful.
Yes, because I was like, when I felt that cup starting to warm, I'm like, oh boy.
You do have to have it, you know, leave it alone. You have to walk away and not touch it and leave it alone, not move it.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll set my mold like on a piece of board or something where if I'm working at my table, where if I need to get back to my table before it's going to set up, I can just pick the board up very gently and move it out of the way.
I think I poured too much of that out. I sure did. Squeaky chair.
Danielle, you're quiet. What are you doing?
Painting wax on the moth.
She's done some nice pieces, just, from what she's shown me. You can tell Danielle plays.
Yep. I just open the box and start playing with it and figure things out.
So see, with that antiquing wax, what it allows you to do is when you put it on and then you go back over and kind of swipe at it. I use a damp baby wipe. It leaves the color like down in your crevices and down in the deep parts and makes it look a little antique-y. And then like Debbie did, she went back over it with the patina to hit the high spots.
And I couldn't wipe as much off on this piece as I would have wanted to because it's clay and it was to wipe the clay.
That's what I'm finding is that the paper clay, although it is coming up, I'm having to work a little harder.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my clay was starting to soften up, if that makes sense. So I stopped and just left it a little darker, but that's okay.
But all this we wouldn't know if we didn't pull it out and play with it. I know in my instance, because I've not, I've only played with paper clay one other time, and I used acrylic paint on it.
Well,
no, not acrylic paint, it was chalk paint.
If you just are getting started playing with molds, I think paper clay is the way to start because it allows you to fairly inexpensively experiment and see what you like and what you can do. Because resin is just sort of a whole different learning curve that you don't have to do that right off the bat.
And I was just so impressed with this extra light clay because, like I said, I've worked with some other paper clay before, but I could not. It was just cracking on me, and I just felt like I was really working hard to get it to, to get it to work, and that's why I was totally impressed with that extra light because it like went down in the spaces very easily. I had, because when you work clay and you start to fold it over and work it, you get all those little cracks and seams, or I do anyway, with the other clay that I worked with. I found with this, I didn't have to work as hard at getting rid of that, and it was much easier to work with is what I'm trying to say. And I love that it's so light. This feels like styrofoam. I mean, it's lighter than a vanilla wafer. I'm trying to find something to compare it to, and I mean, it literally feels like foam. I know, I'm going on and on. I'll stop now. I was just surprised, having worked with the other clay, how light this was.
All right, let's see.
And like Debbie was saying last night, even if you, see, I wasted that. I got to do another piece. Even if you've got errors in it, like here last night, I've got that little bubble, that little hole right there because I didn't get thick enough. And right there. So these are you know, don't do away with them. Keep a hold of them. They're great pieces to like practice your colors on. Or like right now, I'm using up the rest of this antiquing wax that I pulled out too much on. And they're good practice pieces. Because see, honestly, I'm going to tell you, my first instinct would be to throw this away. With my OCD, my first instinct would be, yeah, that's not good. There's a hole. We got to do away with that. Um, So, and you know, and that's just stuff that you learn crafting with your friends. People, you know, they've been there, done that, and they've got advice. And so, if you do not have a crafty friend, either in your neighborhood or in your area, I would encourage you to find someone to craft with. Um, you know, you can bounce ideas off each other. Some can offer you advice or tips and stuff like that. So yeah, find somebody. Me, I don't have hey Judy. I don't have anyone nearby. The closest person to me would be Tina T, and she's like 45 minutes away. And while we have attended crops and such before, you know, it's not like we can just, well, I guess I could run over one weekend and we could just craft for the day, but um yeah, find somebody to craft with. And the way everybody's going online now, um, virtual, I think it's cool. I know Mary and I used to get on and we would craft for like hours. It would be like, oh my gosh, look how long we've been on. I probably need to stop and make dinner or something. And I tend to I kind of get more motivated when I have crafty friends.
We all inspire each other.
Yeah.
At least try to.
Okay. But you know, even if you don't, I encourage you because I will sit here and tell you that I am guilty. I have let not knowing how to work with something or not knowing what it does keep me from even trying it. So I encourage you just open the box, sit down and put it on something because that's the only way you're going to learn what it does. Well, I mean, you might learn from a YouTube video or something, but I will tell you, I'm guilty. Guilty as charged that because I didn't know how to use it and I bought it because I had seen a project somewhere, but I didn't necessarily know how to use it. It kept me from doing. So, not everyone may be like that, but I'm slowly but surely getting out of it. And even if we go on here today and I don't totally get something finished, which I'm hoping I will, but sometimes I don't. At least I got it out and played with it and got it started.
That's
Starting,
true.
yeah, starting is
Starting is half the battle.
yep. So okay. I know I've got a patina green. Was that a like a metallic on that? I can't remember. I don't think it was on that Gilders, Debbie. I think it was a flat, was it not?
Which one?
The patina green, that patina.
Yeah, it's flat, which is partly why I like it so much because it's it's a gorgeous little accent. I use it all the time, and I've had it forever.
Trying to find mine now because I know I got some. I would have thought it would be up there. Sorry if you guys can't hear me. With my other waxes. Check. Maybe it's in another spot.
I'm the same way, Angie. Like, I want to use all the things. Like,
Yeah.
if I buy something, I'm going to go play. That's what we were saying last night, that the benefit to being a widow is there's nobody here to keep me in check.
Oh, hey, guess what I just found, Debbie?
Right.
My powder. My powder pouch.
There it is. Yeah, that's a nice little, just a quick little, and you're doing something like what I was doing last night where I was just dropping it in real quick.
Yeah.
It works.
Okay, I'm like totally upset with myself right now because I cannot find that wax. It's not where my waxes are. So that bugs me. So I'm digging a little bit. I'm trying to think in my mind, okay, logically, if I did not put it with my waxes, where would I
Where
have
would it be? It's not with the waxes. Where would it be?
so?
If you were a 10 of jar, where would you live?
And that just drives me crazy because you know what? I know that I would have put it with my waxes. But as soon as I find it, I'll be, oh yeah, that's why I put it there. There was something, and what makes me think why I did not put it with my waxes, because I know y'all are like loving to hear all about this right now, is because I likely did not open them out of the pack, because I store my waxes in like the acrylic trays, and so they wouldn't have fit had I not opened them. So now I'm having to think, okay, where did I put them?
Yeah, Jeff gets it. Good. You're lucky, Angie.
What'd she say?
Said
Yeah,
she's
I agree,
always been,
Debbie.
yeah, she's been an experimenter, and Jeff is an engineer, so he gets it. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I mean, I cannot spend like the next 30 minutes, and it's going to bug me till I find them. Alrighty, well, moving on. So we won't bother with that. But I really wanted to try. I really wanted to try it. And I'll do this. It'll stay in my, it'll bug me for like 30 minutes, and then I'll like remember and be like, oh yeah. But I don't have 30 minutes to wait. So I'm thinking I'm gonna move on with another piece.
See, Michelle rambles and Laurel talks to herself.
I do. It's so funny. who I heard it somewhere. I can't remember where I heard it. It was online somewhere. Somebody was saying something, or it might have been a friend I heard it from. I don't know, but it's like, yeah, it was a friend. She said her husband used to say something to her all the time about talking to herself, and her response was, "I'm not talking to myself. I'm self-employed, and I'm having a staff meeting."
I love it. That's a great response. The
So
perfect response.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just self-employed, and I'm having a staff meeting. All right. I'm giving it up, y'all. So, yeah, I thought it was great. All right, I'm going to go with the Finnabar Patina Green. It's a matte, so I think it'll work just fine. If not, it's okay. But I really wanted to try that Gilders.
Have you not played with it yet?
Not the Gilders, no ma'am. I've not had the opportunity.
That one?
Yep. Yes, that one.
Danielle, have you played with yours?
I have.
That is the one.
Do you just love that color?
I do. Definitely
Okay.
goes with it.
Just rub it in, y'all. Rub it in. Just, yeah, go ahead.
Now we're just being mean.
Yes, now you're just being mean.
Yeah, I have to stay organized. It'll drive me nuts if I'm unorganized.
I do. I mean, I'm telling you, I am one of the most organized people I know, and I usually know where everything is. And which is also another reason why I have open shelves in my room, so nothing hides in a drawer. But yeah, but never mind, those are hiding for sure. They're hiding.
There you go.
I think this is a different color, but
It's pretty.
let me see. Hold on, let me put it on you, Deb. Oh, that's nice. Now, what color did you?
All right. I did a combination of things here. So the base is deep turquoise liquid acrylic. And no, it's not. Hang on. The base is Enchanted Mariner spray.
Okay.
And then I set that aside and let it almost dry. And then I used white wax.
Oh.
Went over it with white, and that it was still damp, so that blended it, and that gave it that lighter blue color.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over the very, very tippy top with silver.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice, Debbie. Of course.
That one's done.
Yes, Lisa. Matte waxes are good. A lot of folks prefer, like the Metalique, or if it's the not matte, I will say. But I think that there is a place and a time or a project for your flat waxes.
I, to be perfectly honest, have not been a huge fan of the Finnabar matte waxes. They're really creamy, and so it's really hard to sort of get that light touch.
Yeah.
And so that's why I am such a huge fan of the patina in particular from Gilder's Wax Paste. Not all of Gilder Wax Paste is matte. Like I've got copper too, and it's a metallic. But I can show you what I was working on last night.
Yeah, you really have to go light-handed and really tap that Finnabar wax out.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Let's see.
Right kind of in there. I wanted just a hint of patina.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And I would not have wanted that to be metallic. There's a couple other spots, if I can remember, where I put the little hints of patina. Oh, well, on the frame. There's some here. There's a little down here. And it's absolutely perfect for that, just that touch. And with the Finnabar waxes, it's much, much harder to get that light touch, I think. Yeah, Tina, it does really depend on what you're doing. Now
You
this
really got to tap it out. I found
this
that.
this is the Gilder's Wax Paste Copper. So it is a metallic. That's what's on top of this. So yeah, they're all different, you know, and it's, I think I would encourage anybody to try different brands and different types of waxes within the brands too, because even within a single line, some are creamier, some are thicker, some are heavier, you know, they're all just a little different and they last forever. Look at how old this is. This is old label in a tin. This is my silver and there's still a ton of it left and it's still fine. So they last a really long time.
Yeah, I will agree that on the waxes, you really got to tap, like, say, like after you pull it out like this, take it and tap it on down, you know, the paper so that when you hit your piece, it doesn't end up in a gob, you know. So this is the patina green, which is a matte that I added on this. But I do want to now go back in with some sparkle, some metallic.
Well, and different strokes for different folks too, right?
True.
Like one person likes, another might hate, and vice versa. So
yeah. Oh, I know, because when I first tried out the mattes on Finnabar, I was like, I really like the shine. Well, like I said, there is a place,
time and a place for everything.
time and a project for the mats. And to me, if you use a mat on the base or underneath, then it kind of lets your metallics really shine. But like Deb said, it's different strokes for different folks. So now I think I'm going to go with some Bronze Age, which is a little dark. Ooh. But that's what's calling me. And this is a metallic here. I know every time I start to pronounce that, I hear Debbie say metallic. Oh, Danielle, let's look and see what you're doing. Can we come over to your house?
Sure.
Okay, here we come. Knock, knock. What are you doing?
I am waxing up this butterfly with the soot from the antiquing wax.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And you said that just wipes right off from the high points, right?
Yeah, but you got to hit it quick. You can't let it sit because once that wax dries, it sets.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why in this one I kind of did a section at a time and then wiped, did another section. Hey, Christina. Hey, Dar. Less is better. Linda. Sorry to interrupt, but my email is being rejected and not delivered. I don't know what. Who's Linda? Is Linda here?
I think she was talking to Lisa.
Oh. Oh, okay. Every time I hear the name Linda, y'all know what I think of? Y'all
The
know
little
that,
kid.
huh?
That little kid.
Yeah, that YouTube video that kind of went viral. Linda, listen, Linda, listen. Every time. Listen, Linda. If anyone would like the link to come on in and join us, let me know. The more the merrier. See, now I feel like this center needs something. I don't know what. And another thing that I was thinking last night while we were talking on the CSOT live, even if you don't have a project in mind for this piece right now, still do it. Prepare it. The perfect project may come along. But in the meantime, you've gotten your stuff out, your supplies out, and you've played.
Yeah, it's
And
nice. It's nice to have some stuff pre-prepared. I've never been. I know there's a lot of, especially the journal maker YouTubers that do, mass makes.
Yeah.
I've never really been able to do that because I like to make things in the moment with the project.
Right.
But something like a resin piece, I think you absolutely can play around with and get pieces, ready to go, or test colors, test
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then when you're done, don't throw it away. Just set it aside.
Or maybe even that one piece does inspire something. Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to pull this up on me. All right, so that's what I've got so far with this piece, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Come on. To me,
And that's with the green.
Yep, that's with the patina green matte. First I did the sepia antiquing wax, and then I hit some of the spots with the matte patina green. And then like around the corner, the edges here, and in some of the other spots, sorry, it's not wanting to stay focused, I hit it with the Bronze Age. And that to me looks like a piece of stone.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
But
Awesome.
Thank you. That center is, I need to just leave it alone, but it's like I'm wanting to add something to that center because I'm not quite happy with it. I'm not sure. It's like it's getting lost. I don't know. So, not that I will now, but maybe, just maybe, that's like where one of these other pieces to the mold could be layered like right in the center. And see, that's like a clock. I don't know if you can see it. But
Oh, yeah.
Clock.
That's nice.
Yep. Or maybe even something smaller so then you can see some of the other layers behind it. But to me, there's something lacking in the
Hi,
center.
KK.
Okay, KK. Thank you. Yes, I'm happy with that. Very happy. So now all the disappointment from not finding my Gilder's wax has subsided a bit. But I am still just sitting here like, okay, where are you?
Oh, it'll show up tomorrow.
It will, or as soon as we get off the live, I will look up on my shelf and I will see I think I've got 3 of them, maybe 4, sitting right there in their package because I'm pretty sure I didn't open them. I don't like to open it until I start to use it. Because then that way it don't start drying until, you know what I'm saying. Once you open it, the air is always going to affect it. So, or, you know, I can even go bigger and cover the
Ooh,
entire
I like that one.
and do something like that.
Cool too. I think both of them. I think it kind of depends. Either option is a great option.
Yeah.
I like the bigger one.
That does look kind of cool. And see with that one, and oh my gosh, y'all. They're so light. Like,
Michelle, are those light?
oh my gosh, just look. They like, if I were to hit them with a blow dryer, they would blow off my hand. I cannot believe that stuff. I am truly amazed. Amazed, I tell you. If I haven't told you already. Okay. Okay, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. And you know, when you finish something and you look at it and you see, hey, I made that. Yeah, I made that. It gives you that little bit more confidence, and then you keep going and you keep going. Yeah, love that. Okay, so I was really wanting to play with this one today. Ugh. Really, really.
Do you know what you're gonna do?
No, I had no clue when I started I had no clue when I started this one. Oh my gosh, see, I dropped it all in my wax. And I really pulled too much out. So I think, and this was a test piece because of the holes. So where I pulled out too much green, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get it on this piece to use that up. Where do I want to start? Maybe right here. Danielle had pulled out, what were those? The Antique Brilliance, Danielle, that you used the other day?
Oh, the Opal Magic.
Opal Magic. Oh my word.
Yeah, with this dragonfly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, here, hold on. Show them that. Look at this, you guys. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry, Dale.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, love it.
Isn't that
Yep.
beautiful? And I told her, you know, I've got that mold, but I didn't realize that they had little arms and legs. I said, well, wait a minute. He's got arms and legs with feet.
Yep, and he's got a little clock in the center.
Uh-huh. And what colors did you use on that? Do you remember?
The blue velvet and turquoise satin.
Okay, you got it.
And then the aged brass. Whoop. Was on the gears.
Nice. Very nice. I think that was the piece that kind of got me like, okay, I'm gonna pour some pieces and play.
Yeah, I've had some of these molds for quite a while and haven't found the right stuff to use in them until I got the resin and the light clay. Because I did not like the DOS clay or DAS clay.
The DAS clay. Is that the one in the black package?
No, it's white and red.
Oh, okay.
It's too heavy and it cracks real easy.
That's what I found with that the black with the red package. But it could have been me. You know, it's the first time I used it.
Which brand is it?
It was that black, like yours, I think.
Let's see if I can find it.
Paperclay.
Yeah, but like I said, it was the first time I played with it, and
Yeah, it's this one here.
Ooh. Oh, no. Mine is Creative Paperclay.
Yeah, that's what I've used before. And you know what? I'm just sitting here thinking with this piece that I did last night, where those, make sure I'm looking up. That's so cool. I know. Isn't that cool? Oh, where was I? Hold on. Backing up, retracking, Blues Clues. Where was I before here? That stuff works. I'm telling you, I remember when my granddaughters were young, they used to watch the Blues Clues. And yeah, I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was about, but it was like, if you backtrack, you'll figure it out. Just go backwards. And where was I going? Oh, with this, like where the little holes are, I think it was like even Danielle that mentioned last night in chat, put you some 3D matte gel in there, fill that hole up. That, that will fix that.
Yep.
I don't think I gessoed the inside of this frame. But it's okay. It's just a play piece, I guess. I don't know. You know what? This may end up on one of my projects as the best looking piece. Get me putting it in the corner.
It's satisfying to put my projects in timeout when they don't do what I want.
Yep. Or you hit a wall. I'm like, okay, we're going to set you just right over here for a little bit until I figure out what I'm going to do. Now I feel like I covered up all the green. So let's add another layer. Get some green down in there. I'm sorry, my head might have been in that shot. I apologize. I wonder if Laurel finished. No, never mind. I know she didn't finish.
Bee journal? No way. She was she's still on the beginning stages of it. Well, she started it and then she went on vacation. It's kind of
My word, that woman. I mean, because in my 5-10-1 journal, that project that we did, that collaboration, inside the cover, and I think on 2 other pages, she had a moving piece like that, and it was amazing. I mean, I just couldn't. She goes, yeah. She's got quite the imagination and patience too. You've got to.
Oh yeah. You can't do what she does without the patience.
Mm-hmm. Well, anybody that tats has got to have patience anyway. Okay, so there's just that little frame that was a boo-boo frame. I just played with it a little bit, used my extras on it. And there we go. So the boo-boo piece or the extra wax did not go to waste. I want to play with this. I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I think I want depth to this one, and I might go out of my comfort zone on this because I tend to go, neutrals or lights or blues or greens. Those are my favorite colors, but I always tend to go more of a neutral. So I think I might step way out with this piece. I don't know yet.
And go what?
I don't know. Don't know. That purple dragonfly of Danielle's. It's like I'm wanting to go wild and crazy on this, but then what it is, I don't know that will necessarily go. And I say I want to go wild and crazy, but then I tend to.
I don't know what I'll ever stick that on, but it came out pretty cool.
It sure did. And that, if nothing else, that is just pretty to look at. You know what? I'm going to gesso this. I think I'm going to go black. Because if I do use the Opal Magics on this, the background will need to be dark. So I'm going to gesso this.
I will be right back.
Okay. Now, Deb, what is that one? Let me see what you did there. Hold on. Look at that.
So on this one, I started with frayed burlap spray and sprayed it and then let that dry really well. And that's sort of this grayish, well, not gray, wrong choice of burlappy color. And then I went over heavier handed in this outside circle with copper.
Yes.
And light handed in the inner part on top of the frayed burlap with the copper.
Okay. I'm sorry, Debbie. What did you use for the burlappy color? What'd you do? You said?
Distress spray.
Oh, okay.
I started with that as the base.
Frayed burlap. Oh, duh, literally burlap. Okay.
Frayed
Right.
burlap.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I did Gilder's wax paste and copper, heavier around the outside ring, and just kind of lighter all the way over, all over it. Then I did, was it this one? Yeah, Metalique in burgundy, just on the flower on the inside. And then I went with vintage gold wax around the outside, around in the outer edge, that's gold, and on top of the flower. So there's a gold on top of the burgundy.
Nice. Love that. And see, I liked show us what you did with that, the purple one and the turquoisey one. Did we talk about those?
This one's not done.
Okay. Is the purple one done?
This is all Metalique waxes. Just in following the pattern. Gold in the center, emerald in the next ring. Let's see, what is that color? The amethyst? No, hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, amethyst. And then the emerald again, and then the gold again. All metal. With now this has a black
background.
Black gesso base. This one has a cream colored gesso base.
I need to get some of that cream. I really like that.
It's
I think you told us about that before.
Yeah.
it's
I do. I like the creative. It's who?
there are other brands that do gesso with colorant already in them,
Uh-huh.
and you can you can get a bunch of different colors, but I just wanted something that wasn't stark white.
Exactly.
It's got that, if you compare the color of this, it almost has a light putty color,
Yeah.
and it's perfect to give you that just a slightly warmer starting base.
Yes. I like that. What was that brand? What was it? Dev.
Derivan Matisse,
I can't see it. Spell it. D.
Erivan.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I like that idea. So it's not like stark white. And it looks really good on that one button right there.
Yeah, that's the base here. That's also the base on this one, I
Yes.
think. Yeah. These two I started with cream.
Nice.
And these two I started with black.
And see, I love that black and then just the silver to hit the top.
And this one I started, I think this one I started with white. I'd have to double check. You should be able to, I should be able to tell from the back because I'm sloppy. It actually looks like this might be the one that started with the cream. I don't know. Anyway, I covered them up so much that you can't tell what the benefit was. This one you can.
Yeah. Hey, Juanette.
Hey, Juanette. So I got one more.
All righty.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
I know you're thinking of something.
I really like wax on top of these textured pieces because it brings out so much all the detail.
Mhm. Nice.
So hum.
So I'm just going to start with black here.
Oh, you know what? I have an idea for an experiment for something different.
And see, to me, a piece like this right here, this could like start an idea for like be the whole starting point for a journal.
Oh yeah, for the
A
cover.
cover. Yeah. Which we all know I struggle with. But I am getting better. The journal that I'm working on right now started with just a simple mixed media tag that we did one night on CSOT. I know it's funny. Doing mixed media stuff will totally pull you out of your norm. Because I'm a very much a visual person, and it's like, well, a big. Let me take that back. A big picture person. It's almost like I have to know what the end is going to be before I can start, and that will hang you up quick. And doing mixed media stuff is slowly pulling me out of that.
Well, I think a lot of times when I work on a project, unless I'm playing like this, I have, I don't know if any of this is going to work or what I'm doing, but a lot of times when I'm working on a journal, I have a pretty clear vision as to what it is,
Idea.
what I want to accomplish, right? What do I want to do? What I want the end result to look like. Now, that doesn't mean I don't change my mind along the way, or something that I thought would work doesn't. But when you say, when you look at something, or we work on something on Craft Squad on tour, and somebody says, "Boy, you did that really fast." Well, no, I didn't. It was in my head for 3 weeks.
Gotcha.
I can assemble it quickly because I've got I'm on a mission.
Right.
And so, and it's funny when you hear Laurel, like last night, talk about how she has to touch something, and that's when the vision comes to her, and then
Yeah.
she execute. So two very different brains at work, So I think the point is that everybody works differently.
Everyone is
Right
different.
or wrong. It's just, you just go with who you are and what you need to do or how you create, and everybody's different. And I think that's part of the cool thing, especially when you watch videos and you watch things kind of come together with different YouTubers and stuff. You can see
Yeah.
that they work, everyone works very differently. I think that's cool.
But at any rate, we need to just play. We need to, because that's what gets the creative juices flowing, is starting. Just sit down and start. Just sit down and start on something. May not be something that you necessarily totally finish or turns into a grand anything at the moment, but you've started.
Debbie, that would be a question for you in chat.
We'll see.
I'm sorry, I was grabbing another wax color.
I think once it's set, it's set. But
You really can't remove it, but you can gesso over
cover it. Yeah, cover it definitely.
Or start over. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, because that's one thing I will say about wax. When it sets, it's good to go.
Well, it's a sealant, so it's not going to just kind of wipe right off. But you definitely can gesso over it, which I'm about to do on this one. Maybe not. I don't know.
Come on, get down in there. Danielle, did you pull out another piece to start on? I see you've got a grungy frame.
Yes, a little frame mold. This one's resin. I can't remember what set that came from, but it's one of her
grungy frames.
older sets. Yeah.
The grungy frames one. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, I kind of hit a wall with my little etc. tag there, so I'm like, yeah, we'll do something else.
Okay, I think
resin, Juanita, hands down, resin.
I like both, but yeah, resin's definitely, it's a harder harder piece to work with. Like it's more solid. But the clay is definitely fun to make. The light clay that we're using.
That was fun. I mean, I enjoyed doing that.
They
I
make
think-
nice light pieces, yeah.
And I think the clay is awesome for experimenting. I think we were saying that earlier, where it's not, you're not spending a whole lot. You can get clay pretty inexpensively, a pretty good chunk of a brick of it.
Yeah.
And so it's great for experimenting, but something about the clay just doesn't feel as permanent to me as the resin. And
Yeah.
so if I'm going to pour something and put it, especially on a journal cover, it's probably going to be resin.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this though, it seems to me that as time goes on and as it dries, and then the more that you put on it, would it like stabilize it? I don't know. I don't know what question I'm wanting to ask right now.
I think the longer it dries, I actually think sometimes, and depending on the climate you're in, I think a clay is more likely to get brittle. That's my
Yeah.
again, so it goes back to the stability, the long-term stability of it. I think resin wins.
Right. Hi, Carol.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, that's why there is paper down on the desk.
I'm going to set this off to the side because I don't know where I'm going next with this. I just don't know. Oh, I see a spot I missed. Hug.
Yeah, I don't want that one as well. That's okay. It's okay not to like it.
Can you bend resin? It's been my experience. The longer you might, here I go with that. You might can or might could. You might could. Initially, when you first pour it, but I think the longer, see, like right now, this is a little malleable, but I have found that the longer it sits, the harder it gets.
Yes.
That is true. You can also heat it. You could heat it up.
Yeah, I didn't think
really,
that.
really careful. You'd have to know what you were doing. But if you have a lot of times, try doing a search on YouTube. You might be able to find somebody that's take the piece that Danielle's working on where it's got that base. And let's just say, for example, she wanted to not break, but she wanted to take that piece off, but had already poured it. She could heat up the connector point and kind of pop it off. And you can use a knife, things like that. But if it just depends, yeah, it really kind of depends on what tools you have available to you. And it will break. Like
Yeah,
you
I
can.
think at one point it will break. Is there
They were a
some-
little more flexible when they first come out of the mold.
Yeah.
They're a little bit flexible, but not, I don't know if I'd try to bend it totally.
They've got some good questions in chat. I'm glad you guys
Here's
are
an example of a piece. This is a resin piece. And let's just say I was going to put this on a spine and it was just too long and I needed to take an inch of it off. I would heat this up, get it nice and warm, and then use, like a knife through it. pre-measure it, of course. But that's an example. That's not really bending, but you can manipulate it. Oh, hi, Juanita.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I kept thinking I recognized that voice, and it's you, Debbie Kibb.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh, that's
So I don't know if that helps. Oh, here, well, I've got this out. Why don't I play with this?
There she goes.
To unmute, my dog stopped barking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's find out.
Let's do it. I'm going to measure. I'm going to pretend like it's going to go on this. It's not, but we'll just pretend like it is. I've had this piece so long that, so let's see. Let's just cut it off right there. All right. Let's see. I'm going to heat it with something. Oh, here, let me clear some of this stuff off my. Let me make some room.
Okay. Set that to the side.
Yeah, I'm kind of new to this little group of crafters.
Yeah, we've gotten Danielle finally after a little bit to
Johnny convinced me, aka twisted my arm.
yeah.
Oh,
Coerced.
Coerced, yeah. You know, sometimes it just takes that one person to get you
it
going.
was for a good cause.
Oh, that's right. That was your first live with the hop, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I've been wanting to play with this one.
All right. I have no idea.
Put it on Debbie.
I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I made a little mark here. Let me just sort of go all the way across. Not that this will be straight or anything. But I'm going to attempt to cut this right kind of through here. I'm going to use an embossing tool because it's hotter, more directed heat than my heat gun. And I'm going to get the paper off of the table. I think I'm just going to sit here and kind of hold it for a second and then take the box cutter and try to slice through it and see what happens. So it'll probably, I'm thinking that as this starts to warm, I should see a sheen to it. That makes sense.
Is that painted or anything, Debbie, or is that just plain resin? Is anything done to it?
Just, yeah, it's resin.
Okay.
It just happens to be a resin piece that's not, it's not bright white resin. I don't know what brand it is. I didn't pour this. Somebody else did.
Juanette, Danielle's link is down below if you'd like to go check out her channel. I've included the link to Debbie's channel and Danielle's channel in the description box below. Debbie is currently on her way to 3K subscribers, subbies. Last night, I think she was
65 away.
65 away.
Ish. Yeah. Or at least last night it was 65.
Yeah, so if you've not subscribed, go check out their channels below.
See that?
Oh, wow. So that totally did work.
Will it bend though, Debbie?
Well, if I hadn't sliced it all the way through, it might. You want me to try it?
But then you would have to keep it bent in that shape.
This is still hot.
Cold.
This is very, very, very warm to the touch.
Thank you, Juanette.
But see, look. I don't know if you can see that there. See?
Yeah. So it's only going to go so far.
I mean, you could get a curve to it. If you got this nice and warm, you could get a curve to it. You'd have to just really be careful. But I think it would depend on the mold, you know, the piece that you're trying, what you're doing.
Right.
Let's see. Well, here, I'm
Well,
gonna,
now
now
we found out.
back of it.
So you would definitely have to, whatever shape that you want it in, you would have to keep it in that shape so it, when it cools off.
You'd have to, right. You'd have to shape it probably on something.
Right.
Yeah. Like tape it on to get that, just to say you wanted to get a
Don't
curve.
break it. I don't want you to break it. That's a nice piece.
Oh, I think I have another one. I have probably.
Well, thank you for doing that, Debbie. I appreciate your.
You can kind of see it's beginning to form a curve. I would reheat this again and gently mold it, reheat it again. You know, I would kind of keep doing that.
Oh, that's interesting, Carol. Carol says Alumalite has a tan resin, and you can also mix black and white and get tan, but I forgot which
You can mix micas into clear resin too.
You can mix what?
Hang on.
I love it that Debbie will get on here and experiment.
You can mix mica powder. This is a drawer full of resin pieces. This is some of my play pieces. You can mix. This has a silver or gray mica in it. That's a resin piece. This one has a copper mica in it. So it's clear resin with mica powder mixed in it. See if I can find another one.
And how much mica powder did you end up really kind of having to put in?
An itty bitty scoopful.
Okay. And you got a solid color like that. Wow.
And you can see the mica sparkles on the back side, but the front creates this matte.
Oh. Okay, that makes me want to make some colored resin pieces right now.
You have to have clear resin. It doesn't work in white.
Oh, it doesn't work with the white. Oh, I don't have any clear.
Well, I honestly, I take that back. I have never tried it with white. Let me be fair.
But the white is definitely going to dilute the color for sure. It's going to lighten it. I would think. Anytime you put white with anything, it's going to.
Yeah, you're not going to get. I'm trying to think if I did any other. I think those are the only two colors I did. There's another gray piece.
I got to get with you, Debbie, and find out what resin you use. It's not the quick cure. It's the clear. I would love to.
The rest of these are all black. So these are all letters where this is an example of, these are just letters from the Stamperia. I poured them with black gesso. Black resin. Actually, I colored clear resin black.
Okay.
My
gosh.
I have a liquid colorant, but then I did put gesso on them. And played with just some, hang on, there's more in here. Played with some combinations of wax. A lot of these aren't done like that, here's another one.
Very interesting, aren't they, Carol? Gorgeous colors.
Some of them didn't work. What did I do to that? I stopped. It looks like I started something and stopped. Here's rose gold. This is what I'm talking about getting in here and playing and experimenting and just kind of having fun. And I have a little drawer I just throw stuff into after I'm done with it. I think that's it.
Okay.
Here's the difference between black resin. See how shiny that is?
Yes.
And that's just black resin. This is black resin with a coat of black gesso on top of it.
Yeah. Which molds are the alphabetical ones, Carol? That's a Stamperia.
Oh, you want to see the mold?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I have to show you guys my new molds.
Oh, yeah, because this sent me down a rabbit hole last night. Oh, and Danielle, are you
Yes.
there? Happy Halloween to me.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. I got my molds.
Here's the mold. You get all the letters of the alphabet plus exclamation, question mark, an and at sort of symbol, and a little squirrely Q.
Can you still get those molds, Michelle?
I did get them a little while back and sold a few. Let me check real quick.
I love this. I haven't, but the funny thing is I haven't done anything with it. But I do have a project in my head that is beginning to stew. That I would use some of these for.
I think I can. The last time I ordered them, which I do so many times, yep, I can get them. I didn't pull mine out first, so I didn't get one.
Oh, I found one more. Wait a minute.
So that reminds me, I'm going to put a few in the cart.
Looks like I did several of them with, I love the black and the silver combo. That's probably my favorite combination. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, Dear B says that mold is a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either, Carol, but I just put a few in my cart for my next order. So I will get it next time it comes around.
Michelle, that is another example of why the 24, the multi-day drying resin is awesome, because you have plenty of time to mix that. When you're mixing mica into the resin, you've got to stir very slowly and for several minutes.
Oh, so I probably wouldn't even want to attempt that with the
Probably wouldn't be able to get it stirred in. Although I don't know what it looked like if it was sort of swirly. That might look kind of cool.
What are you laughing at? What?
No patience. No patience.
I find that Stamperia comes out shiny, and Prima, the Finnabar,
Rose gold on black.
Finnabar and Zuri come out a dull black. Okay.
Oh, what is that B one?
That's a Zuri mold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they have some cool molds.
They do.
I can show you those too. This is a Zuri mold. These are pores gone bad. Look how this piece stuck to this. There it goes. It's because I didn't have my ratio correctly, and this is still sticky, and this was poured, I don't know, a year ago.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I want to get Zuri molds, but I have to.
All right, you guys want to see my Zuri molds? I'll show you.
They're beautiful, you guys. Yeah, Steve came home. They are very nice, right, Tina? Steve came home last night. He's like, "What now? What are these molds you were talking about?" And I showed him. He says, "You're about up to what? Christmas now?" I said, "But Danielle reminded me there's Halloween." And he said, "All right, well, trick or treat." So he got them for me.
I'll show you the Zuri molds I have, my old ones first, and then I will show you the new ones that I just got.
I like it when I don't have to go into my funds.
This, let's see, let me turn him correctly.
Oh,
that's a hummingbird.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one. That's a popular one. I've seen that one.
That one. This is critters, and they've got really cool textures in them. These are butterflies. I've used this mold. I used one of them on the cover of a journal, and I used another one on the top of that wooden box project we did. Here.
Dear B says, she says, I have a problem demolding my Zuri molds, the tiny parts.
There. That's this butterfly on top.
See, look at that. Carol even wants to get them.
It has to be a huge order, and then you have to like order at least 200 within 6 months to keep your purchasing power.
This is Sagittarius. I'm not Sagittarius. This was for a
Your
project.
son or son-in-law, wasn't it?
Yeah, for my son-in-law.
Yeah.
And this character went on my daughter bought his, I don't know, like his whole stories, astrological, whatever, and asked me I printed it out and created a journal and put this on the cover.
Okay. Debbie said the molds don't bend.
Oh, sure they do.
Huh.
I don't have I've never had any problem.
Carol, what I might do is make a post in the Facebook group of a few, and if I can get up some reserve orders, I'll be happy to get some.
Here's a bad pour of that hummingbird. You see all there's like a whole bunch of bubbles and stuff in it. I had just gotten
that one I like.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I had just gotten the resin and I wasn't really used to, and I just didn't, it just got way too many bubbles in it. I think those are the quote unquote old Zuri molds I have. Now I will show you the new one.
No, Juanette, she had used that mold in creating a book for her son-in-law.
The Sagittarius, yeah.
Sagittarius, yeah.
And yeah.
Do you have any angels, Debbie, or no?
I do not on the Zuri, no.
Okay.
Okay, now the new ones.
Oh, hang on. I got to put Debbie big on this one, y'all. These are gorgeous.
This was Happy Birthday to Me.
It was Happy Halloween to me. Trick or treat.
Okay. The buttons is new. The buttons that I was playing with today, that's one new one. This is Baroque elements. You get corners. There's clocks. There's little frames, more corners, straight pieces. Just a nice mix of stuff.
Yeah, Carol, I've seen the Medusa mold. Yes,
Yes,
very
I have too. It's cool. All right, this is called Vintage Vibes. You can buy them.
Can I answer a question real quick in chat, Debbie, so I don't have to interrupt you through your presentation? The Zuri molds, Danielle sent me a link last night where ASC Supplies on Etsy sells some, I think. But Debbie and I also, the ones I ordered last night, ordered them from Zuri. Is it .com, Debbie? I can't remember.
Zuri Designs. Hang on, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Zuri Designs Inc., if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I would like to, I would love to order some to sell. Like I was saying, they're, the criteria to be a seller with them, your first order has to be at least 35 molds. And then after your first order, you have to purchase at least a minimum of 200 every 6 months to maintain your purchase status, which is pretty heavy.
Their website is Z as in zebra, URI dash INC Inc.com. Zuri-Inc.com.
There you go. Oh, I can.
And what's their price point?
They're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap. It would be a major investment. Yeah, it is a hefty minimum. It is. That's why I'm saying I'd likely have to do like a pre-order on that. But I know that Zuri stands up for, I mean, its name is, people know the product and the quality. So, yeah. But okay, Deb, go ahead.
Okay, so this is called Vintage Vibes, and it's Vintage Vibes 1, 2, and 3. You can either buy each of these individual pieces, or you can buy the set, and there's 3 different trays in the set. So look at this. These are 4-inch squares, and they all can connect to each other. You see the 2 halves of the circle here? You could put those 2 side by side, and that's going to create the full circle. And then you've got this one. That's flowers. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. Lots of florals on this one. They also have a very similar one, but different to this set that's called Vintage Florals. This one is Vintage Vibes.
Yeah, I just put the website in.
And when they, let's see, on the back of the package, it shows.
Oh, I did not know that you could get points. I will have to look.
I don't know if you can, if I can get that. I can't get it close enough. I'm going to come back down. But you can kind of see, here's that circle. See the 2 halves meet up together. On this one, these flowers come across over into here and up above into here. So this text right here crosses over both of those squares. And so the squares can all form, a 9-piece bigger square if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't decide which one I liked better. So that's why I just got the Vintage Vibes set.
Yeah. Those are nice.
And this one's dirty because last night I pushed some clay in it so that we could see. They're really deep. These flowers are real deep. So yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Debbie, for showing those, and thank you for demoing whether we could pull apart or change it once it's already poured. I would definitely love to try some of that colored resin, because you think if you color it to the color you want, then you could just very little or minimal work after that to kind of
yeah, you would still want to gesso. You're never going to want to do any wax acrylics or anything like that directly onto the resin, but you could use a clear gesso.
Right. But yeah, you definitely, you're right. You would want to use that slower setting resin.
You can put all sorts of things in that slower setting resin. You can put sparkles in it. You can put, was it last night that Laurel was showing the coasters that her daughter had poured that had the glitter in it?
Yeah.
That's added to the resin. That's an additive. You can also buy resin colorant in a liquid form where you add drops to it.
I will say that there is someone that my sister works with. He marbles his resin, and he uses alcohol inks in them.
Cool. I've never tried that.
Yeah.
All right, I am done with my buttons.
Okay. Do you want to show us real quick, or do you?
I'm too impatient for the long resin. You do, yeah, Lucy. You just gotta pour it and get it out of your way and just forget about it for a couple days.
Hey, Lucy. Yeah, me too, Lucy. But if it's like a new project, I would love to try it, definitely.
On those squares, those 9 squares that I've got, I'll pour all of those in resin and pour them all at one time. And then just set them out of the way where nobody will, touch them or disturb them or anything and just forget about them for a few days and then go back and do some playing with them.
Right.
Oh, how did the alcohol ink work, Lucy?
She tried it?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm in the middle of a pour right now.
If she can't look up.
I'm not being rude.
She's using the quick set pour. Gotta move fast. Okay, cool. I may try that.
She said it worked?
Yep, beautifully.
Nice. Yeah, he does like, oh, I don't know. I can't explain it. What it is exactly that he does, but it's pretty cool. Okay, so Deb, do you want to show us your finished product you got to run? Do you have
Yeah.
to run? Okay. I know we've been on a bit. Are you guys ready to call it?
Do we lose Danielle?
Oh no, I'm here. I'm watching.
You're just being very quiet, Danielle.
Yeah, because we've been on almost 2 hours. No, we've not made any of our own molds, but let's go around and let's show what we've done. We'll start with Debbie. Okay,
So
Deb.
these are the buttons. They're called buttons from Zuri. This now I don't even know if I can remember what all I did. This has the antiquing wax on the base in sepia and a patina wax on top. Very subtle. And right there in the middle, I wiped off. Oh, I got stuff all over me, but I wiped off most of the wax right there in the middle. I found that as I was wiping the wax off, that I could feel the paper clay begin to sort of disintegrate a little bit on me. This one I've already talked about. This is the frayed burlap distress spray. And then I've got the burgundy metal ink wax in the center and a combination of copper and gold waxes around the outside and on the tops. There, see that? And it's not showing up on the camera, but there is gold on the top here in this center part too. It's not coming up very well. This is just black gesso with silver wax.
Yes, and that looks fantastic. It's
just one of my favorite combinations.
Mm-hmm.
This is distress spray again in Uncharted Mariner. And then while it was damp, I went over it with white wax. And then when the whole thing was dry, I went over it with silver wax. So I kind of got a combination of a milky blue and a darker blue in there with the silver highlight on top.
Nice.
This one is all metal ink waxes in the purple, the emerald, and gold. And I just kind of went around, used a tiny brush and just went around each ring. The base of this is also black gesso. These two are black. This one is, I just played. Around the outside is liquid acrylic in emerald. Around the inside is liquid acrylic in deep turquoise. And then I went over the outside ring here with some black wax. And then I went over all of it with copper. And I also used a little bit of brass wax colors. So there's kind of a combination, not brass, fire. It's a metal ink wax. It's almost an orange.
Fire ruby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And then the outer's got a combination of some black and some fire ruby, just to tone that down a little bit.
Very pretty. And that was using the buttons and more Zuri mold.
Yeah. These two, I started with cream colored gesso. These two started with white gesso. And these two started with black gesso.
Cool.
All right.
Well, you never cease to amaze us, Debbie. All right, we're going to go over to Danielle's house. Knock, knock, Danielle.
Yes.
We're here.
All right. So this one I did with the white base gesso and then the black soot antiquing wax. And then I
Oh, that
used
turned out nice.
That's
and then I
pretty.
used the gilder's paste around it to highlight it.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. Yes.
This one I had done before. This is the foundry wax from Tim Holtz.
That's pretty cool. Is
Yeah,
that a black gesso?
it's a different effect completely,
Yes,
isn't it?
it's like a
Yep.
gilded. Gives you like almost a gilded, shiny.
And then just some of the little butterfly or moths from the Finnabair. This one I did with this one's the paper clay, and it's the black gesso. And then I
Can you guys see a face on the head of that? See the two eyes and the like Fu Manchu mustache? See it right there?
Yep.
Can you see it? It looks
Yep.
so like a face. You can almost see his ears.
that's the I forget what that moth is called, but they have that on their body.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do. Okay.
Yeah. In real life.
Yep,
And
this
look,
is
there's
the
his
white
hat with the
distress
horns
paint.
sticking out. Oh my goodness.
Hang on, it'll come to me.
Oh wow. Okay, go ahead, Danielle.
And then this one is paper clay too, and it's the black gesso with the I think this is the emerald metallique wax.
It's called the
Nice.
Death's Head. It's called the Death's Head moth.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep, and even the little ones. Can't really
Well, I
see it on
learned-
the little ones.
yeah, I learned something new today.
But I did those with the I think this one's the soot wax and then with the black over it to highlight it.
Were those with the paper clay?
Mm-hmm. And then these are two more that I did.
Oh, cute.
Ochre and then the black soot to highlight.
Nice. And then you're going to work on doing a layout on that tag there.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Cool. Okay, let's head back over the way to my place. And right now I have the fast curing resin going in this Mecha. Is this Mecha Moth? Hold on, which one is this one? Yeah, the Mecha Moth mold. And earlier I created this. Last night I did this in the mold with some paper clay. And then today I used the sepia antiquing wax. That's the brown you see in the background. And then I went in with some of the matte patina green. And
That one's really good.
I'm loving this. And then I kind of went around the edges with the Bronze Age wax.
Nice.
So I finished that piece, and then this was a piece I poured last night in resin, and there are a couple of holes in it. So the waxes that I had left over from creating that, I just kind of put on here. It's a little test piece, but who knows? It may turn into something really nice later on. Was
Sorry, that was outside my window.
that thunder?
Yeah, lightning just hit outside the house.
Oh my
Goodness
God.
gracious. That was like really loud.
It does, doesn't it, Lucy? It looks just like a piece of stone, but it's as light as a vanilla wafer. So that's all I got completed. But I'm good with that. But I have more stuff to play with here that I poured last night. So I will likely continue on since I'm in the mood. Oh, and I did gesso this piece, so I'll be playing with this a little more. This is from her locks and the Finnabair locks and keys.
Oh, that
mold
one's cool.
that came out. Don't know what I'll do, but I will save it for another day. Or maybe just later on today. So that was a nice little crafty sesh, you guys. I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. It was kind of a last minute. Well, there was minor planning, about an hour beforehand planning, but had a great time. Love all the techniques, and we'll get together again real soon, you guys. So, Danielle, Debbie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And thank you, ladies, for joining us in chat. And we will see y'all out there shortly. Bye now.
Bye.